Punches out the finish. Italo Ferreira already getting started against Kelly Slater, Mitch.
Yeah, and a very decent score to start things off against the 11-time world champion. 7 points on this one for Italo, and that was a beautiful turn from the surfer from Bahia Formosa in the north of Brazil. And I have a song to choose for this heat. Joe, it's The World Is Yours by Nas, and that's really what Italo Ferreira has really been doing in the last few years. We saw him compete in the Countdown Series events, not only in Brazil.
We'll see how he's going to open up this heat.
And it's kind of ridiculous that he's requalifying based off of just 3 events surfed.
Italo Ferreira now has a chunky section to work with. Blowtail reverse on the opening section. Speedy little cutback. Nice clean snap. How clean is that open face? Really glassy. Italo's going to get out of there to back up the 7.0 quickly.
Yeah, it's not always that simple when there's some amount, only a certain amount of time on the clock, and when you're behind. So I'm not really thinking about anything. I'm just trying to keep a really clear head.
It seemed like it didn't steepen up as much as Iago didn't. And then Kelly right behind him. Good looking barrel. He came out of the first barrel and then, unfortunately just went down. Another 2 waves.
Italo also getting another wave to try to back up the 7.
Yeah, and wow, just polished surfing quick. As we say here in Mexico, veloz. And, I nicknamed him the Energizer Bunny. How about Speedy Gonzalez?
Marias 793.75. Dora with that crazy backside punt got a 7.43 for that wave, just under Marias' 2.7. So now Dora needs an 8 to take the lead and try to get a spot in the quarterfinals. Italo leading over Kelly. Kelly needed a 6.84. Kelly's barrel came in at a 4.0, and Italo's opener a 7. One thing that's so impressive about the reigning world champ is how he starts heats.
And now we got the reigning world champion up and riding, Joe.
Italo Ferreira has a section landing on his heels. Hard into that first section. So much power, more vert on the next, but he ends up fishing for his line and comes up empty-handed.
Didn't even have a Goofy Footer world champion until 2014.
Kelly up. The greatest of all time goes vertical after the carve, blows the tail, layback, and a fall. So back-to-back falls in the world champ seat.
Just a solid performance from the Goofy Footer here at Mexico.
Now the priority heat. Italo Ferreira, reigning world champ, current world number 2 with a big wall here at Barra de la Cruz. Fading cut back. He'll arc that one once again. His backhand provided him his first victory. It was also against an all-time great named Mick Fanning.
Oh.
Big power hack on that oncoming section. Stays on his feet. There's some points left. That might change now that this is actually the final event of the season. Pulling in Kelly. Beautiful travel time. Comes out with a section growing ahead of him. Clean wrap into a hack off that oncoming section. There's the vertical foam climb. 3 turns. Really quick in between. Now a big roundhouse cutback. Nice clean snap. Looking solid with a nice committed frontside wrap. Late hit on the float, but he finishes with control. Sitting on a 4 and a 2 at the moment.
And I love this wave. His wave selection is so good. And there's a reason he's won 11 world titles. It's because he has a connection with the ocean at any single location that he goes to. The flow on this wave was impeccable. I love that roundhouse cutback. Just precise. And then this finish was as important as the barrel was at the beginning. Beautiful wrap. And then a solid maneuver just to finish on that closeout section. And his technique is so good that sometimes I think it goes unnoticed. The small subtleties. Right there, stalled a little bit just to get behind the curtain and as deep as he could at the beginning of that barrel. And then the rest of the wave skips that second section and goes straight into that carve right there. And as you can see, that second section kind of wedged up in the middle, Joe. allowed him for some projection down the line. Great read from Kelly. This wave suits his strengths too, and here goes el papá de los pollitos, Kelly.
I love that.
You like
break
that one,
that down
didn't
for
you?
me again?
It's the dad of the little chicks. Now he goes up into the more progressive era, and he's still relevant.
Kelly, hard off the bottom, vertical with the slide, going incredibly quick into a big roundhouse cutting. Needs a 7.7 to take the lead off Italo with the 10-minute mark approaching. He'll fade and S's wave with a little bit of downtime. Just a nice tap to cover some ground, springing into a vertical. Comes the wrap. Nice drive into that section. Kind of that midline on the flow. Incredibly hard part of the wave to drill like he did. A 7.7's the requirement to take the lead off Italo.
Be nice if it became 4-1 for Kelly right here, especially after what he said yesterday in his interview. But man, even his wave before this, Joe, 6.07. Kind of thought that was a little bit low, if I'm honest. I thought it was at least comparable to Italo's 6.77, and dude, the young buck has still got it. He's athletic. I think he's in great shape. He looks like he's enjoying himself, and he looks as competitive as ever. And we got a couple of bonus sections right here on the inside. Beautiful route to set things up, and that was a difficult turn.
Now 9 waves ridden for Slater, and during that last replay we saw Italo do this.
Oh.
Here he comes now, looking for a 7.27.
Oh.
Big hack to start. Aggressively into a carving 3, giving it everything he had. The best at that carving 3 maneuver in the world. Big hack for Italo with perfect timing and control. And now, even though Kelly was ripping, he's really just trying to put it away now. Kelly did fall in the second maneuver in the final minute. Ferreira hacks it. Drives through another inside wrap. Gets a little bit of a pace for that fading cutback. And we'll see how he plays with his end section. Nice little power hack for Ferreira. Drills it again. And when you see water going that high in the sky, it was powerful. It was timed perfectly. And Ferreira thinks that's enough to put Kelly away. Italo Ferreira stays undefeated against Kelly in his career as he moves on to the quarterfinals. Coming up next, we'll continue on with Mateus Hurdy and Jadson on.